A couple of years ago, I want to say 2010, 2011. Yeah, 2011. Yeah, I don't know. I went to the Birmingham Comic Book Show, which was held in the hotel, I want to say a Holiday Inn hotel, on Smallbrook, Queensway in Birmingham. And you go upstairs, it was BC Birmingham Comic Show. It was a bit rubbish, but what was weird was I got to walk around and talk to some really interesting people. One of the interesting people I met was Matthew Craig. He's an artist you've probably never heard of. Such a hipster. He makes these little comics about his dog Hondle. It's fascinating, and the artwork isn't the best, but as indie self-run comics go, it's acceptable. It's really it's fascinating. Really, well, I'll tell you what's fascinating in a minute, because these are, yeah, there you go. Check these out. These are cool. There's Space Hondle. He signed them all as well while I was chatting to him, which is pretty cool. And then I got Hondle Special Edition. He's just Hondle there, which is his dog that died. He was from what I understand, he was a scientist, or experimental Hondle. There you go. About time travel and stuff. And Hondle Special, another one. I don't know what one is. 1 and 2. Oh, there's 2 parts to that one. Yeah, this guy was like a scientist or something. He was working on all sorts of like sciencey stuff. I say so. People say scientist, you always expect he worked at someone. No, he was just he didn't work on the Headline Friday. He was like just a research scientist somewhere in Birmingham. There's lots of them, believe it or not. He had a few accidents and a bit of bad luck. His dog died. He had a rough lunch ride. He just started making comic books. And yeah, he's even though the artwork's not brilliant and the production's not great, they're a really good little read because they're like really honest and personal stories, and he's put a lot of himself into them. And honestly, when I met the guy, I mean, we're talking about one of the nicest people. Random things off the shelf before I get the message. Yeah, he's one of the nicest people I've ever met, and he was so nice to talk to him. They read his work, and then the stories, like what he was talking to me about in person, and then to know that when I pick up these was just fascinating, and really, really was just a joy, to read them. And the lead character even looks like a super idealised version of himself. Yeah, it's cool, and these independent runs are very important. And if ever you're anywhere and you see these independent runs, there are 3 reasons you should always buy as much as you can get hold of. The first one is these people work hard to produce independent comics, and they're usually mocked by their peers because people who make these sort of super indie, limited run indie comics, they're not artists usually. Well, sometimes they're artists. They're not like professional comic book people. These are people who like put the heart and soul into the story they just want to tell, and they feel like a comic is the best way to do it. So that's like the first reason. The second reason is that they don't actually earn a lot of money off this. So if they're somewhere signing stuff and you give them a couple of quid, you're probably covering their train fare home. So like, so not only have you got the artistic side of it to support them morally, support them financially, because they could do it. And then the other reason, which is most important, I think, is that this guy could sell these stories to DC or Marvel or Image or wherever. He could team up with an artist, and you could see this particular story being retold by a high brand artist, or even himself. He learns to draw ridiculously well, or the future of these guys. You're invested in their future. If you have to have something like this, and then this guy goes mainstream and ends up writing Batman in 10 years' time, this stuff's worth a fortune. So yeah, I'm not one to buy to resell. And for me, I bought it because it was a super personal story I really enjoyed. The whole lot, the whole set is great. It cost about 17 quid. It wasn't a massive amount of money for the lot. He signed and chatted to me for half an hour. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, pick up Super Indie Comics. Super Indie Comics are awesome. I've got a few more up there. Like I've got a Tin Pot Hobo, which is a space story. I think I've covered that one of the videos. I've got like a Super Cow the Avenger or something. I've got all these indie stuff. Whenever I see them, I pick them up. They're always different to everything else you'll read, and vastly worth your time and attention. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed a little random talk about indie comics. And if you're thinking of making an indie comic, come publish it on my website. If you've got an indie comic you want to publish it online, you are more than welcome to slap it on my website over at comicdom.com, and I'll push it on wherever I can for you. Not that I get that many hits, but yeah, if ever you want some help with that, or you're interested, you're more than welcome to do it, because art is cool, comics are cool, and need supporting. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.